Some psychological experiments pushed human subjects to their absolute limits. Others revealed disturbing truths about obedience, fear, and human behavior. Several were so controversial, they forced the world to change the rules of science. Here are the top 10 psychological experiments so disturbing they shocked researchers themselves. Pay close attention, because number 1 is one of the most disturbing experiments ever conducted. Number 10, the Little Albert Experiment. In 1920, psychologist John Watson set out to prove that fear could be learned. He tested his theory on a 9-month-old baby known only as Albert. At first, Albert showed no fear of a white laboratory rat, but every time the baby touched the rat, researchers slammed a steel bar with a hammer behind him. The loud crash terrified the child. After several repetitions, Albert began crying at the sight of the rat alone. Soon the fear spread to rabbits, dogs, and even fluffy coats. The experiment became one of the most famous and most controversial studies in psychology. Number 9. The Robbers Cave Experiment. In 1954, psychologists secretly observed the behavior of 22 boys at a summer camp in Oklahoma. The boys were divided into 2 groups and placed in separate cabins. At first, the groups bonded with their teammates. They created team names, built flags, and developed their own identities. But when researchers introduced competitive games, the atmosphere changed. Insults, sabotage, and even physical fights broke out between the groups. Flags were burned and cabins were raided. The experiment demonstrated how quickly group rivalries and tribal conflict can form. Number 8. The Stanford Prison Experiment. In 1971, psychologist Philip Zimbardo created a simulated prison inside Stanford University. College students volunteered to play the roles of guards and prisoners. The guards were given uniforms and authority. The prisoners were stripped of their names and identified only by numbers. What happened next shocked the researchers. The guards quickly became abusive and authoritarian. Prisoners began showing signs of stress, emotional breakdowns, and helplessness. The situation escalated so rapidly, the experiment had to be stopped after only 6 days. Number 7. The Milgram Obedience Experiment. In the early 1960s, psychologist Stanley Milgram wanted to understand obedience to authority. Participants believed they were part of a learning experiment. They were instructed to deliver electric shocks to another person whenever the person answered incorrectly. With each mistake, the shock level increased. Unknown to the participants, the shocks were fake, but the screams and protests they heard were very real recordings. Despite the apparent suffering, most participants continued administering shocks when instructed by the scientist. The results revealed how ordinary people can commit harmful actions simply by following orders. Number 6. The Asch Conformity Experiment. In the 1950s, psychologist Solomon Asch studied how peer pressure affects decision-making. Participants sat in a room with several other people. Unknown to them, the others were actors. The group was asked to identify which line matched a reference line. The correct answer was obvious. But when the actors intentionally gave the wrong answer, many participants followed the group anyway, even when they knew the answer was clearly incorrect. The experiment showed the powerful influence of social pressure. Number 5. The Monster Study. In 1939, researchers studied speech development in orphaned children. One group of children was constantly praised for their speaking. The other group was harshly criticized and told they had severe speech problems. Over time, the criticized children became anxious and hesitant to speak. Some developed lasting speech issues. The experiment later became infamous for the emotional harm it caused. Number 4. The Bystander Effect Experiment. Researchers wanted to understand why people sometimes fail to help others in emergencies. In one study, participants believed they were communicating with others through intercoms. During the discussion, one participant appeared to suffer a seizure. When subjects believed they were the only witness, most rushed to help. But when they believed several others were present, many hesitated. The experiment revealed a troubling phenomenon. The more witnesses there are, the less responsibility each person feels. Number 3. The Blue Eyes, Brown Eyes experiment. In 1968, a teacher divided her class into 2 groups based on eye color. One group was told they were smarter and superior. The other group was treated as inferior. Within hours, the superior group became more confident and dominant. The other group showed signs of anxiety and reduced performance. The experiment powerfully demonstrated how quickly discrimination and prejudice can form. Number 2. The Third Wave. In 1967, a high school teacher wanted to show how easily authoritarian movements can develop. He created a classroom movement called the Third Wave. It had strict rules, slogans, and even a salute. Students quickly embraced the structure and sense of belonging. The movement spread through the school in just a few days.
Some students even began reporting others who questioned the group.
The experiment revealed how quickly people can accept extreme systems of control. Number 1. The Pit of Despair. In the 1970s, psychologist Harry Harlow conducted one of the most controversial experiments in psychology. Baby monkeys were placed in isolated metal chambers designed to induce depression. Without social interaction, the animals developed severe emotional distress. The disturbing results revealed how deeply social connection affects mental health. But the experiment also sparked widespread outrage. Many of these experiments would never be allowed today, but they revealed some of the most unsettling truths about human behavior. Which experiment shocked you the most? Subscribe for more unbelievable countdowns.